Hey everybody, how you doing today? Mark here. We are going to do a small series of items here. This is not going to be just a one recipe and done type video. This is going to be a small series on different things for low sodium stuff, okay? I got a low sodium taco mix. You know, this will be the seasoning blend that you would brown off with your taco meat. You mix it in just like the little packets that you would get. I've got low sodium soy sauce to make. A low sodium version of Old Bay. We call it New Bay. So yeah, if you like that kind of seasoning, you might want to try this New Bay. And I swore there was a fourth one. So here are some of the recipes that we use. I'll have, of course, the ingredients listed down below. So here we go. This is going to be really simple, really easy, just mixing together dry ingredients for the most part. Okay, great. Okay, to start the ingredients for the taco mix, okay, like I said, this is the dry seasoning mix that you would mix together with your hamburger. I think it also calls for like a cup of water, just like a regular packet would. But you take this seasoning mix it with the meat and that 1 cup of water. You know, you let it simmer for a little while, evaporate some of the water out, and put it on your tacos and eat American style tacos. Okay. All right. This is what we're going to need. We're going to need 4 teaspoons of these ingredients. So 4 teaspoons of flour, 4 teaspoons of chili powder, 4 teaspoons of cumin, 4 teaspoons of whole oregano. Over here, we need 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Okay, putting this stuff together could not be any easier, okay? You literally just throw all the measurements into a bowl, mix it together. That's it. Fork, whisk, you can just put a lid on it and shake it, whatever you want to do, and then you're done. Let's do it. All right, 4 teaspoons. Now, if you wanted to, you could do 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon, and that would be your 4 teaspoons to combine total. I'm not going to. I'm just going to dirty 1 teaspoon. Okay, that's 4 there. I have 4 teaspoons of chili powder. Four teaspoons of cumin. Now the container I have, this one is almost empty. So that's 1. There's 2. 3. 4. And 4 teaspoons of oregano. And you know what? There's not much in here either. All right, that was only 3. Let me see if I got another oregano. All right. So my oregano is short, 1 teaspoon. Oh well, that's the way it happens sometimes. Now what I want to do is I want to put in 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Okay, so that's it. That's our mix. Just go ahead and mix it all together. And I was short 1 teaspoon of oregano. I just didn't have enough in the bottle. So this is a little bit short, but it's still going to taste good. Okay, so after everything's all mixed up, you can tell how much lighter everything is because that white flour gets mixed in with everything. So there we go. There is our mix. Now remember, this is for 2 pounds of beef. instead of one. If you want one, the recipe is down below, okay? Hey guys, how you doing today? I am going to continue the low sodium mixes and sauces series that I got going. Today is going to be a really quick one, and it's just a dry seasoning mix. This is a good replacement. Every time I start, the damn refrigerator kicks in. This is a good replacement for Old Bay seasoning. Now, if you don't know what Old Bay seasoning is, it's a seasoning blend that's really good on fish, chicken, pork. You could even mix it into a like a vinaigrette and use it as a salad seasoning. It's really kind of versatile. I don't think I would use it on steaks or anything like that. You know, I wouldn't season a burger with it or anything. But yeah, pork chop, grilled chicken, all do very well with this seasoning blend. But it's even the low sodium version that they have out, it's like 190 milligrams of sodium per half teaspoon. So that's a lot of salt. So we are going to make our no salt version. Let's get into it. Okay, to make our no salt version of Old Bay seasoning, we're going to need a teaspoon of celery seed, a teaspoon of black pepper, and a teaspoon of paprika. We're also going to need a half teaspoon of bay leaves, but I need to get it ground up. So I got whole bay leaves here, but we're going to ground it up. I'm going to show you how to do that. I got ground mustard, again, half teaspoon of ground cardamom. And then down here at the very end, we got some ground cloves, quarter teaspoon of ground cloves, and ground mace. I only need 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground mace. Now to ground my bay leaves, I've got a knife, cutting board, and a small little mortar and pestle. I got this years ago when our kids were young and they couldn't take a medicine or something like that. If they had to take ibuprofen or Tylenol or something like that, we got this so we could kind of grind it up and put a little jelly on it or something like that to make it go down a little easier for them. So that's how I'm going to actually do the grinding. I'm going to chop it up real fine, put it in here, and grind away. Let's get into measuring. So there's my celery seed. And that's what they look like. Need 1 teaspoon. I need a teaspoon of black pepper. Need a teaspoon of paprika. I need a half teaspoon of ground mustard. I need a half teaspoon of ground cardamom. That's what that stuff looks like. I still need to do my half teaspoon of ground bay leaves, but I'm going to get back to that in a little bit. Let's just finish off the rest of the stuff. I need a quarter teaspoon of ground cloves. And I need 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground mace. So, yep, just a scant little 1/8 of a teaspoon. All right, let's get into grinding up the Old Bay, and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start out with, I'm going to say maybe 4 or 5 bay leaves. And what I want to do is I'm just going to chop these up as thin as I can possibly get them. As you can see, they're dry, so pieces are shooting all over the place. So yeah, you can see some of these pieces are kind of big. Maybe you can see them. I know it's kind of a weird angle. And I am just going to Trying to get everything back into a pile again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep on working these, trying to get everything as fine as possible. I think I might go through that a couple more times. Rake it up. I know that this is kind of weird to do this. I mean, I could just go to the store and buy some, but why? I think I'm going to say that's good enough for now. As far as the cutting goes, I think that's good enough. And it looks like I should have plenty for my half teaspoon. So now what I want to do, bring over my little pestle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit here and grind away. So what do you think? You think that looks pretty good? I think that looks all right. All I gotta do is just take that ground basil, dump it in there, and just mix the stuff up. Now I suggest going through really well and getting the lumps of mustard broken down real well. There you go, guys. New bay seasoning. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? So how simple is that, guys? Even the process of grinding up that bay leaf in here, my refrigerator is still running. It hasn't shut down yet. So yeah, this is a real simple thing to do. And even easier if you actually have ground bay leaves. I just don't have any. So there you go. New bay. Cool. Good on fish, chicken, pork, in a salad, whatever. Enjoy, guys. Hey guys, how you doing today? Got a little thing sticking up. Today is the third part of the low sodium thing, I think. Yeah, I think this is part 3. Okay, what we got going on today though is we're going to make a low sodium andouille. Now, of course, andouille is something that you can buy in your grocery store, but it's going to have a lot of salt to it. So we make our own andouille. The only problem is that, you know, an andouille is a smoked sausage. And we don't actually smoke the sausage. We're going to add liquid smoke to it, but it still tastes pretty good. So again, just real quick, we're just going to run down the ingredients, put it all in the bowl, mix it up. I'm making a double batch. So everything I'm telling you is twice as much as we normally make. Now, normally our recipes only call for about 1 pound of andouille, but we use it enough that we usually make, you know, a couple batches of it at a time. So, all right, so let me show you what I got on the counter today. Okay, so this is what we got today. I've got 2 pounds of fresh ground pork. I'm going to need 8 tablespoons of minced garlic, 5 teaspoons of liquid smoke, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, 2 teaspoons of paprika, half a teaspoon of sage, half a teaspoon of thyme, and here are bay leaves. Now I only need half of a teaspoon of bay leaf, but it needs to be ground. So ground bay leaves, I got a new way I want to try to make ground bay leaves. So I've got a whole container here and we're going to grind the whole thing. All right, I'm going to start by opening up the ground pork and getting it in my bowl. Make sure you take that off. So there's my 2 pounds of ground pork. I need 8 tablespoons. All right, this is the liquid smoke we use. I need 10 teaspoons, 8, 9, 10. I need 2 teaspoons of black pepper, 1, 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper. There's number 2. 2 teaspoons of paprika. I need a half teaspoon of sage. A half teaspoon of thyme. And now let me show you what I'm going to do with the bay leaves. Okay, so I got one of these handy dandy little blenders. And I am going to put all of these bay leaves into the blender and just blend it up. Now, of course, this is going to give me way more than I need, but that's fine. I'll just save it for another use later. There we go. Screw the lid on. What do you think of that, guys? Ground sage. I can pour it right back in the bottle. There you go, ground sage. All right, now all I need is just a half teaspoon of that. Ain't that cool? I like that idea. Okay, we're just gonna put on some gloves. Just like that. And we're just gonna mix it all in. Now don't be too hard on it. Don't sit there and really mush it between your fingers. Just kind of fold it over, fold it over. I'm not really pushing down on it much at all. I'm just picking it up, placing it on the top. Okay, and that's it. I'm not really seeing any liquid at the bottom of the bowl anymore. So all that liquid smoke has been picked up by the meat. There's no spices. I don't see the big huge pockets of dry spices laying around anywhere. So there you go, guys. Low sodium andouille sausage. Gotta love it. Okay, so now all I gotta do is portion it out into 1 pound portions. Now, of course, I've got a little more than 2 pounds here, so. Okay, so that's 1 pound, almost 5 ounces. Let's see how much we get in this bag. Of course, all the seasoning, the liquid smoke, and all that stuff all adds weight. And that one's 5.5. This is 1 pound, 5.3 ounces. This one is 1 pound, 5.1 ounces. It's good enough for me. Of course, I also labeled the container for the ground bay leaves. Okay guys, so that's the andouille sausage that we use. Great for gumbos and etouffee, and even the election lunch that we've already made a video on. Just substitute the sausage links of andouille and just brown it off in the skillet and add it to the crock pot with everything else. Works really well. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next round of, what's that? Gosh, what's the last one I'm going to do? Oh, I'm going to make the soy sauce. That's what I'm going to do. All right, see you when I make the soy sauce. Hey guys, how you doing? Mark here. I'm getting ready to do the 4th installment on this no/low sodium ingredients thing. And today what we're going to do is we're going to finish off with soy sauce. This does include a little bit of cooking. It's basically just mixing everything in a little sauce pot and reducing it down to about a half a cup. Okay, super simple, easy ingredients to find. This is what you're going to need and this is what you're going to do. Okay guys, this is so simple that I'm not even going to show you the ingredients because it's too short. I'm just going to put it all in my sauce pot and get it on the stove to get simmering. Okay, so this is the first ingredient you're going to need is a no sodium beef broth. Now we do this Herb Ox brand. It's really good. You'll need 2 tablespoons total. And we find that 3 packets of the Herb Ox brand is enough. Now we're going to need 3/4 of a cup of water. Just going to pour that right into the pot. I've got sherry vinegar here. You can also use white wine vinegar. So this is what I've got. Sherry vinegar. Okay, so all we need is 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons there. This is molasses. And we only need 1 teaspoon of molasses. So you're not talking very much stuff in these. It's one of the things I like about these little plunger styles. Just put in and then plunge it off. Now, next thing we're going to need is ground ginger. You need a 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger. So 1/4 teaspoon. And then we're going to do some garlic powder. We are going to do a 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and that's it. That's all we need. Okay, we're just going to set it on the stove, put it over medium-high heat. We're going to bring it up to a boil. Make sure that that molasses and all the other ingredients are all well incorporated. Okay, everything is dissolving up pretty good. So we have in here just a little over 3/4 of a cup of total volume liquid. And we're going to reduce it down to a half a cup. You don't have to keep sitting here and stirring it as I am. But I just wanted to stir it until everything's dissolved, and that looks pretty good. So we'll just let that sit there and cook away. Just give it one last little stir. Okay guys, it's been about 5 minutes. And I can tell that it has reduced down. Okay, so let's see how 5 minutes did on the reduction. So we got half a cup after only 5 minutes. So that's it, man. That's how you make no sodium soy sauce, or at least a low sodium soy sauce. That molasses did have a little bit of sodium. It was like 20 milligrams for a tablespoon, and we only used a teaspoon. So yeah, that's pretty good. Half a cup right there in, what was that, 5 minutes or so that it simmered, and just a couple minutes to throw a couple of seconds to throw all the ingredients in. All right, this is Mark ending this sequence. I do plan on doing other things. We got a barbecue sauce. We can make teriyaki sauce. I've got a bunch of other low sodium things that we can do and try. So yeah, this is Mark saying thanks for watching. I'll see you on the road.